tranquil.
Yeah.
To be at peace. See, this is the other thing I noticed. We are in a state of chaos more than we choose to be because the world around us seems to be that way. But internally, if we are also vibrating at that level, I don't believe it is easy enough. It becomes much more difficult for us to actually accept what God has for us because we're not listening. We're distracted. We're moving. We're in motion. We're in chaos. And from what I remember, the scripture says that he whispers.
Definitely.
He leads us beside the still water. So we're going back to the fact that if you want to vibrate in a place of peace, you say you want to protect your peace, then internally you must be serene.
This is Dr. Rodney Duckett with the Lively Art of Conversation, where we live, we learn, we earn, my goodness, and we pass it along. Tune in and listen to us every Sunday from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. as we give you our story with the Lively Art of Conversation. You know what it is. It is 07:30 hours in the morning on that Sunday. Some of you guys are on your way to work. Some of you guys are at work right now. And some of you guys are getting ready for church. But it is me, your cultural enthusiast. That's right, that community facilitator, Dr. Rodney Duckett. And I'm back with the Lively Art of Conversation, where we live, we learn, we earn. My goodness, we pass it along. If you hear my cool voice on today, because I'm here with a cool brother today. So I'm going to take a step down and just be cool and breezy and just vibe all day long. That's right. I am in the studio with someone that's very near and dear and close to me. But before I jump into that, what I like to jump into is saying thank you to my underwriters that make this show possible. Yes, that's right. It's people like you that make this show possible. And I like to take a moment for my underwriters right now.
Words have power. They connect, heal, and inspire. That's the mission at Better Watch Your Tone, LLC, founded by Toni B. Shelton. She's empowering through powerful poetry and prose, with hundreds impacted through speaking events, workshops, and 8 self-published books. Ready to honor the story within? Discover books and coaching at betterwatchyourtone.com. For event poetry or book writing support, email ToniShelton@gmail.com. Let's use our words to uplift. Better watch your tone. You've built a life worth celebrating. Now it's time to be seen. At Las Foto de Lance Photography, they don't just take portraits, they capture the fire in your spirit and the power in your presence. Whether you're reclaiming your confidence, owning your story, or stepping into a new chapter, Las Foto de Lance Photography creates luxury images that reflect the real you. Visit lasfotodelance.net or drop by their Harker Heights studio. Las Foto de Lance Photography, unapologetically you, immortalized. Looking to elevate your brand or capture unforgettable moments? New Image Media offers top-tier videography, photography, personal branding, and more. They combine creativity and quality with fair pricing and friendly service so you get the results you want. Whether it's a business promo or special occasion, they bring your vision to life with quality you can trust. Choose New Image Media, where your image is everything. For more info, email media@newimagemiallc.com.
This is Dr. Rodney Duckett with the Heritage Legacy Curators. You're looking for something for your kids to do this summer? Well, reach out to me at Impact Outreach, IMPAC outreach@gmail.com, because Heritage Legacy Curators is all about collecting oral history. So if you have stories that you would love to pass down to your kids, or if you have a project that maybe your kids need to do as it relates to oral history, bring those family albums out and we'll sit there and we'll sort through those family albums, so that way we can collect those stories and keep those stories within the family, so that way they can be the next speakers to curate your family reunion. We're back with the Lively Art of Conversation, where we live, we learn, we earn. My goodness, we pass it along. If anybody's thinking about being on this show, or if you have a commercial, or if you have a special event that you want to announce on this show, reach out to me. The Lively Art of Conversation @gmail.com. That's right, Lively Art of Conversation @gmail.com. We'll love to have you on this show. Hey, like I said, I am vibing at an all metrics level right now, because I'm in the studio I have a lot of people in my life. Let me start off with that. A lot of people in my life. I have my kids. I have other kids that I've adopted along the way. But boy, if I could ever have another son, he would definitely be my son. This dude right here is so cool, and I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him because there's adults that cannot live their dreams and translate them into a reality. This brother was able to do that. And he went out in the world, man, with nothing in his pockets, just a box in his hand. And he came back, man, just filled with so much knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to bring to you Mathwan.
How y'all doing, beautiful people?
Oh, my goodness, man. You even sound cool. Just too cool for me, man. What we do is I want to let you guys know that you know what time it is. It is time for you guys to go get that pencil, that paper. It's time for you to open up that cell phone because we always got some work to make us better. And that work today is the word of the week. That's right, the word of the week, the quote of the week, and also that question. And you know what? I'm telling you, when I'm around greatness, I let them speak. So I'm going to pass the mic over to the man himself, so that way he can give you the word that you need to work on for the week.
Blessings and love, Mr. Rodney. I appreciate you. Do I call you Dr. Rodney publicly?
Brother, whatever you want, man.
Because you are a doctor, sir.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of the things I've learned is from you. So I do
Thank
appreciate being here as a guest in your kingdom. You have to understand, I did not know that you had such flow on the microphone like that, man.
I tried to get it from you.
Nah, hey, look, hey, man, it's going to take a lot of work to get here.
And I'm working hard.
There we go.
I'm sweating over here.
You're one of the hardest working gentlemen I know when it comes
Thank
to the
you, man.
community. So I'm giving you your flowers instantly at this very moment, please.
Thank you, sir.
The word of the week, ladies and gentlemen, is serene. It is the root word of the two words that I have also been extending myself to vibrate with, and that's serendipity and serenity. Those two words. So serene. The quote from that, I would say, is to keep sight of the serendipitous moments in your life. Being aware of how you can align yourself to the things that you want and the things that you need to be able to be the person that you believe that you should be.
Wow, that's powerful, man. And you said this is the word that you were working on with your son, correct?
Yes, sir. I was communicating with him, and more often than so, I would usually find words that have a strong vibration, which we use, see, and more than likely also read. We pass it, but there's certain moments where a word can just vibrate. Because I'm a logophile. I love words. This is my art form, and one of my wonderful ways of magic is to be able to communicate with those words. Now, in the English language, a lot of us have failed to realize that as an indigenous peoples, we aren't using our original language. So we do have to be familiar with that. But in order to really find what you can use these words to put yourself in a state of whatever reality you need necessary for yourself and for others, they are a vibration. And as we are using this language, I enjoy doing research on them, the etymology. So, matter of fact, can I do that real quick? I'm just going to quickly Google the word serene, and we're going to look into if it is Latin or Greek.
You're getting that lesson today. Don't you put down your pads right now. Don't you put down your pen right now. Keep them open because everything is connected to everything.
Everything. So we're going to start off with the fact that it's a noun and it is archaic.
Okay.
The first description is calm, peaceful, and untroubled. Tranquil.
Yeah.
To be at peace. See, this is the other thing I noticed. We are in a state of chaos more than we choose to be because the world around us seems to be that way. But internally, if we are also vibrating at that level, I don't believe it is easy enough. It becomes much more difficult for us to actually accept what God has for us because we're not listening. We're distracted. We're moving. We're in motion. We're in chaos. And from what I remember, the scripture says that he whispers.
Definitely.
He leads us beside the still water. So we're going back to the fact that if you want to vibrate in a place of peace. You say you want to protect your peace, then internally you must be serene. So it is Latin Middle English, and it describes weather or sky as clear, fine, and calm. And it's from the Latin root word of serenus. Serenus.
Wow. That, you know, I'm gonna say that we are all connected internally to something great. And before we get into you live, you learn, you earn, I want to work with this real quick. And I'm glad that you use that word, because sometimes we forget how we're connected. And I heard an old African Ethiopic nomadic monk tell me one time, we're nothing more but a body of water connected together as human beings. Meaning that if we're vibrating all at the same level, we are either in peace and harmony, or we in despair and destruction. So the fact that you use that word and you use still waters, okay, and then you also said he whispers, the subtle voice of the subtle voice of the universe only speaks to you in time of meditation.
Yes.
When you're praying to God, you cannot speak to God, you know, and God cannot answer you back. He can only answer you back is when you're still.
Two forms of communication are listening.
Yes.
And speaking. You have two ears and one mouth.
Definitely. I told you, vibrating at a higher level right now. I'm here with my man right now. And we're going to keep this conversation going. But first of all, introduce yourself to my audience. Now, you are from this area, and we know you are from this area, but you stepped away for a period of time to find yourself upon this journey that you were on. Reintroduce yourself back to Central Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Matuan D'Angelo Matthews, the second born. Name means the leader, and also means lion killer. I formerly go by the Blu Mantic, which is my stage name. I think I began in Killeen, Texas, greater Central Texas. Ventured off to New York City, to the Big Apple. And that's when I started to branch out from my spiritual roots to understand the world around us on a deeper level. And then I made the decision when my son was born. This is such a metaphoric saying. When my son was born, to go to Europe and do a lot more research and finding out not only where we're from, what happened, and where we're going, but more so who I am and what I'm here to do. And I believe that from then on, it has always been art and spiritual awakening for myself and the people that I love. And then it began to be more business and professional on a conscious level, because little did I know growing up with a single parent home that money was not what we needed, but what we actually wanted was freedom. Wow. And that freedom came with I'd like to say sacrifice, but it came with the transaction or the exchange of time. And that's one of the most beautiful things that I appreciate about myself is I have a level of patience, Capricorn to Capricorn,
yes, sir.
With myself and people. And I'm at the earth age of 34, and it has allowed me to be aware that we are in a hurry to be something or what we want, when actually everything comes at the time that it is necessary. I was in a rush when I got to New York, as you would believe, because it is a big apple. It is a machine. But there was so much processing and learning and downloads that I was able to accept and receive because I was looking for it. Seek and ye shall find. And I'm going back to these words because this information is the root of who I am from Killeen, Texas. My parents, my mom, my grandma, everybody in my family, we were raised in Pentecostal church. So the Holy Ghost has always been within an emotion and an idea of how I can relate to what's going on. They say the Jesus in me sees the Jesus in you. That makes it easy. So I feel that over time, whether or not I practice religion, I started to also see my Muslim brothers and sisters who had that same vibration. I started to see Buddhist friends and family. I started to see Afrocentric friends and family, Asianic, and even some of the European Slavic brothers and sisters. On a deeper level, we as human beings have an internal battle with us reconnecting with our divinity. And we formulate these ideas and notions to put ourselves in boxes to understand, of course, this is the world we live in. This is gonna happen. It's logical. It makes sense for our survival. But we separate ourselves based on things that are not genuinely true. A lot of it is illusion, and it's detrimental to our future if we're going to be connecting through this, this tool called the phone, applications, the things that we believe where we are a part of something bigger. It's not a real universe. It is a stage. And what I'm saying is, when we take away all of our names, we take away our country, we take away all the stuff that we think we are human. And when I started to focus primarily on music as a vibration, it is the motion of air. And as we all know, the first thing that you do when you enter into this world is you breathe. You breathe. So I wanted to make sure that any art form or any type of magic or whatever tool I utilize to find myself in this world and to connect with other people and give them something to lead them out of the darkness, because I know what that is like. I figured out that music itself is the way we all connect, vibration.
Definitely. And I want to say this, the person that's sitting beside me, this was an evolutional process for him to be the man that he is today. And we say the word music, and we know what the word music means, and people understand this concept. But I will say this about you, watching you grow on social media once you left out of the Central Texas area, you have become an instrument of music. Just you alone.
I just need me.
Yes,
100%.
that's it. And that's the amazing thing about you, and I've seen you before just speak on the microphone and the audience listens to you. I've seen you before beatbox and chat on the microphone and the audience sways to you. And it's amazing what you can do based off of being that instrument. And I truly believe that instrument that you are is being spoken down through the God within you to project to God's outside of you.
Thank you.
And that is amazing, man. I don't want you to think that I don't watch. I'm an old man and I'll be watching.
I know you watch it, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
I know you watching.
And I do appreciate that about you, because you can use your power for evil, but you use your power to heal. That's amazing.
What's very interesting about that is I had a conversation recently with the mother of my son, and I told her, I said, it took me a minute to realize if God can use me as a dirty instrument, and I mean, I was in a state of darkness, and I chose that. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be real with you, and I'm going to admit and take accountability. I chose to go down that path, especially in the entertainment industry, to understand why and where we are. Now, did I get lost in the sauce? Of course I get lost in the sauce. It got to a point where it was a little more fun than it should be. But I appreciate the awareness to realize, like, okay, if higher power can use me at my worst, then what can it be at my best?
Definitely.
So if you are in a state of alcoholism or any kind of abuse, what I would recommend, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to tap into your highest creative self is to take a break from all of that. Even sugary foods, bad foods, not just negative energy. Watch what you're paying attention to. Your attention has value.
Yes, it does.
Okay. So I'm saying that what allowed me to get to this level of instrument is paying attention, not only to myself, but what the effects of what I was doing caused to other people. You say you love and you want love, then you have to vibrate at that level. It's hard to realize that we're taught self-doubt. If you don't believe in yourself, then how do you expect others to believe in you? And that's what really drove me down this path. When I got back home, it was easier for me to quit smoking tobacco when I realized that if I'm being that person in front of my son, then how am I expecting him to be somebody better?
It's crazy that you say that. And I remember an old man one time. I had to be probably close to your age, and I'm a father and everything. And I was doing things that I probably shouldn't have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that I was a god. And I didn't believe what he was saying, because I just thought he was just saying it to say it. He said, "You don't believe you're a god? Have you ever looked at how your son sees you?"
You see, hold on. 'Cause see, now we're going something deeper. Because as a creator,
Yes.
right, it makes you challenge theology in a whole belief system to a degree that that child has to believe in you,
Definitely.
right? Has to go by your word,
Definitely.
right? The only difference is, I believe, our outside source of divinity, the higher power, is not visible in the way we are used to, right? But as parents, we are at a state of godship. And I think the reason a lot of humans demonize the idea,
Yes.
especially, listen, ladies and gentlemen, as indigenous peoples, you might not be practicing what you were supposed to be practicing. It might be somebody else's religion that you're practicing and believing in. I'm only mentioning this just so that you could do your own research. Do not take offense to this. We are in a state of love and wisdom. The idea of godship is demonized because, think about this. You have to take full responsibility of every decision you make and every choice. And that is hard.
Yes, definitely.
That's hard.
Yes.
It's very difficult to say, I did that.
Yeah.
I'm making a mistake, because it's easy to say, oh, I'm great, I'm doing really well. I mean, some people, it might be easier to be, insecure as well. But I'm saying, like, take full responsibility for your reality and realize blaming outside individuals or sources for everything that's going on. Oh, look what the devil is, did the devil. Okay. You might need to sit back and think to yourself, what am I doing that could be causing this? Or even better, what power do I have within myself to change it?
Definitely. And I like that concept that you're bringing up. When you get into, like, truly understanding who you are as a man, and I use manhood or being a husband or being a father.
Thank you.
A husband is a house bonder. A father is a foundation. So when you understand what that is, when a wife is married to a man, she's not married to a man based off the leadership of a man. A woman is married to a man based off of the foundational principles which a man is. You could be a silent leader. Like, if you look in the world of being a CEO, most CEOs are quiet. Most COOs run the day-to-day business. If you look in a home, no one can run a household like a mother. I'm serious. If you look at any single mother, they can run a household
Very true.
better than any man. But when you have a foundational principle within a home, that proverbial no, or that proverbial will do it this way, that is that foundational principle which a woman follows and which a child follows. In a sense, that is that God sense. God is giving you the ability to do one thing to protect your family, which is his family. And the greatest thing that you can do as a father is to protect a child and your wife from themselves. That's why you have to be wise.
And that is very powerful when you have to sit back and understand a lot of our generational curses come from the fact that there was a lack of. So if you are listening, my brothers, I'm speaking to you from a young man who didn't have one. And now I'm formulating a relationship with him as an adult. I'm noticing what he also lacked to be able to be a father. I want you to learn how to father yourself, my brother. The kind of father you were looking for, be for yourself, so that any young man or even your own sons and daughters can see through action what you want from them. You can't tell people all the time what you want. You have to show them. You want to be a leader, then you have to act as such, even when no one is looking.
And this is crazy, man. You're also, I keep using that word crazy, but it's not crazy.
I like crazy.
But it is on some serious stuff. I remember, again, I'm going back. You got me ruminating, man. I'm
Keep
going
sir.
back.
I knew it was going to be like this.
And I'm thinking back when I was doing Hapkido, and I was moving up in belts. And I remember one day the Hapkido master comes in and he's telling us what to do and we're confused. He says, you never listen to what someone tells you to do. You listen and you watch and display and how they show you how to do it.
There we go.
Because you don't know until you can actually visual. Communication is visual.
Mm-hmm.
It's visual.
It's a reception. Yeah,
It's
that's
a
true.
reception. Wow. I have to do this
Go
because
ahead,
this
sir.
conversation is hot. You're listening to the Lively Art of Conversation. And I'll be right back after these commercials.
This is Lavina Sabri with So Natural Catering and Bomb A Lemonade, and you're listening to the Lively Art of Conversation.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Rodney Duckett with the Lively Art of Conversation. As we live, we learn, we earn, and we pass that wisdom along. Join us every Sunday from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. as we bring to you our story. You bring your story, we give you our story, and our story is how we engage in our community. Everybody has a story, and we're waiting to hear your story. So if you're interested, reach out to us at livelyartofconversation@gmail.com.
Looking to elevate your brand or capture unforgettable moments? New Image Media offers top-tier videography, photography, personal branding, and more. They combine creativity and quality with fair pricing and friendly service so you get the results you want. Whether it's a business promo or special occasion, they bring your vision to life with quality you can trust. Choose New Image Media, where your image is everything. For more info, email media@newimagemiallc.com. Words have power. They connect, heal, and inspire. That's the mission at Better Watch Your Tone, LLC, founded by Toni B. Shelton. She's empowering through powerful poetry and prose, with hundreds impacted through speaking events, workshops, and 8 self-published books. Ready to honor the story within? Discover books and coaching at betterwatchyourtone.com. For event poetry or book writing support, email tonyshelton@gmail.com. Let's use our words to uplift. Better watch your tone. You've built a life worth celebrating. Now it's time to be seen. At Las Foto de Lance Photography, they don't just take portraits, they capture the fire in your spirit and the power in your presence. Whether you're reclaiming your confidence, owning your story, or stepping into a new chapter, Las Foto de Lance Photography creates luxury images that reflect the real you. Visit lasfotodelance.net or drop by their Harker Heights studio. Las Foto de Lance Photography, unapologetically you, immortalized.
Hello, this is Dr. Rodney Duckett with the Heritage Legacy Curators. You're looking for something for your kids to do this summer? Well, reach out to me at Impact Outreach, IMPAC Outreach @gmail.com, because Heritage Legacy Curators is all about collecting oral history. So if you have stories that you would love to pass down to your kids, or if you have a project that maybe your kids need to do as it relates to oral history, bring those family albums out and we'll sit there and we'll sort through those family albums, so that way we can collect those stories and keep those stories within the family, so that way they can be the next speakers to curate your family reunion. Well, hey, we're back with the Lively Art of Conversation, where you live, you learn, you earn. My goodness, you pass it along. If you would like to be an underwriter, have a commercial, or just want to be on the show, please reach out to me at livelyartofconversation@gmail. And I am back with the Blu Mantic. That's right, the Blu Mantic. I said before, I say it again, we're going to be vibing at a higher frequency right now. And man, if you're following this show, you're learning a whole lot. I'm learning a whole lot. So before we get back on the vibe, I want to talk about some things that you've earned along the way, because you've earned and gained some things along the way from being in, where were you at for the last 5 years?
Poland.
Yeah. So let's talk about your journey in Poland.
So Warsaw, Poland was an eye-opener as an American, especially an indigenous Black American, for me to be in a minority state. And I mean, what minority literally means. Okay, we're not a minority in America, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get that out of our heads. A homogeneous society who looked alike, had similar names, spoke a common language. None of the words that were on posters, signs, videos, advertisements was anything understandable. Like, now that I'm fathoming the situation, I put myself in a location, in a space, in a reality where I was totally unfamiliar. It's like going to the desert without a map. That's really what I'm like. Maybe it's a hyperbole, but I did follow my heart. That is one thing I do want y'all to understand. The introduction to that side of the world was me meeting someone that I trusted, for me to say, you know what? I want my son to see that I was able to at least attempt and try. And because I am stubborn, I'm gonna do more than try. Like,
Capricorn.
It's gonna happen. Y'all just wait and see. How? I have no earthly idea. But I was on a boardwalk in Coney Island with some herbs, and I looked at the sky, and the first thing that came to me when I was talking to whatever higher power was listening, man, the Lord said one word, and it was really difficult, but it was powerful to the point that I broke down crying. He said, trust. And that's all I could do. How? I don't know. So I went over there, and what I experienced again was something very valuable for a lot of us as human beings to at least make the attempt. Get your passports, please, everybody. Go see what other individuals are living like. Go see what other people eat. Go experience how they're experiencing the world. Now, I'm not saying integrate, because we are original people. And if you are an original man, I need you to understand everything that you will experience outside of this world will be more valuable and more appreciative than our own country. Just going to leave that there where it is. What I was able to adore was 5-year-olds, 3-year-olds, children, older people seeing what they have never experienced in real life. It was almost like I was a genie in their eyes. And I'm giving, again, an hyperbole metaphor, but I created this avatar of myself because it was who I was internally, but without fear. Because guess what? They don't know what a black man is supposed to be like. They have an idea, right? I always make the joke to the friends over there. It's like, oh, you black? I'm not black, I'm blue. Haha. Which hold on, Mr. Rodney, on some deep stuff. If you do the research, blue or green is an original color of a skin tone based on the actual minerals that we were eating and producing in our system. So I'm just saying, blue was the original black.
I hear you.
Because to be in
South Sudan.
We go. To be iridescent, like the for example, I'll give you an animal, the crow or the raven.
Okay.
We see them as black, but black is the absence of light. So the vibration is all colors or without color. So it's reflecting. All right. Anyways.
Yes, go ahead.
I utilize music and the culture of hip hop to find a way to connect with individuals, and they really appreciated it. They didn't understand it to the degree I expected, but anyways, being able to vibrate in a place where I was unknown and unfamiliar allowed me to really just rebuild from what I experienced home without taking the past and saying, oh, this is who I should be or how I should be. I was able to be myself, and I was able to develop community. I was able to learn business from an artistic standpoint, but more so on a conscious level, because again, we are forced to make money. I use that word make specifically. We're forced to make money instead of learning what money is.
Wow.
Money is a vibration. It is an exchange. None of it is real. It's hard to even accept that if you really want to sit back and be like, oh, but we need it. Yes, to survive, we do. But to understand what value is totally different than a conversation about money and finances, right? Money makes the world roll around, cream, dollar bill, y'all, I get it. That is an American point of view, though. These people were down with the fact that they were in a state of comfort for their family. I was in a country that had a different, what's the word? So we're democratic. They were in a state of, give me a second, let me find the word, communism. They just recently had got out of communism. Okay. So again, I'm looking and learning about people around the world differently than I was able to look through a scope or glasses of an American. And I think what was so beautiful is without language, our culture is the most influential culture around the world. You go into a coffee shop, you go into a party, you go into anywhere. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I did not expect it. They're listening to what we make and who we are. They're vibrating with us on a subconscious level. Yeah, maybe they don't have the rhythm to dance to that song, but I guarantee you, if you play it, they're going to sing, "We are family."
Yes, sir.
They're going to feel it. They're going to appreciate it and respect it. Now, are there individuals that I experience who might have been in a xenophobic state of mind where they were afraid of what I am? I would be afraid of me too, ladies and gentlemen. The way I walk down the street with a staff in my hand, my hair raised. I used to have locks. My brother Rodney right here. Yeah. My locks were 14 years old. They were up.
Yeah,
they weren't down.
Yeah.
You see, he seems like a safe individual when his hair's down. Mine's were up. Yes, antennas wrapped.
With feathers.
With feathers.
With feathers.
Right? Wearing a mother-loving suit. Okay? I wasn't wearing a fitted hat with no long pants and no sagging pants and no Timberlands.
Oh,
I was dressed to impress. And so the reason I make that joke is because I realized I was in rooms that I say this in layman's terms, I didn't belong in. Okay, how was I able to go into the tech world and then into a poetry segment and then also into the hip hop street segment? Remember, this is where they vibrate, and then also into an art gallery, and then also to an architecture meeting, and then also into a startup professional meeting. How was I able to vibrate on so many different levels? Oh, okay, I understood. Why? Because I was observant. I was a sponge. I was being myself. I'm going to rewind back to something I actually registered just a few months ago. Authenticity vibrates 4,000 times more than love.
Ooh, say that one more time.
I didn't need it, but I wanted it. Authenticity vibrates 4,000 times more than love.
Let me pause that for 1 second, and I want to go back to, you had said you used the word currency, and I want to ask you this question.
We going back to water.
I want to ask you this question real quick, and it's just something I just came up with. Is our indigenous culture the currency for other countries?
We are exploited. I will tell you that. And that comes from the bottom of my heart because I know that they are not aware that they're doing that. They're just something they're used to. They do love what they have in their traditions, but it is a currency because it is an informal exchange that we haven't taken back control and power of. We still allow corporations. And if you have paid attention, and I'm talking to Gen X, boomers, and millennials, Gen Z, y'all do what y'all do. Gen Alpha, y'all do what y'all do. But our generations have created something so timeless that we keep going back to reparations and the things that we want and we're owed. Ladies and gentlemen, it's right there.
Definitely.
We just need to take control of it.
Yes.
We got to keep, excuse me, wrong word. We got to quit selling it for cheap.
Definitely.
Okay? Mansa Musa. Okay. Hey, it wasn't money. It wasn't money. It was gold. It was salt.
Yeah.
And then you're okay, wait, well, how was that valuable? Think about what's valuable now. Mm-hmm. Influence.
Yeah.
Culture.
Yeah.
Understand, people are not just wanting to be like us, but there is a point where they are referring all the way to a deep genetic need to connect with their original selves.
Yes. And I want to say something. This is I had this conversation a while back, and someone asked me, what's the most common American thing you've seen everywhere you travel? I've been to China, I've been to Japan, I've been to London, I've been to Scotland, I've been to Africa, I've been to Australia. I've been around. I've seen things, and the most common American thing, and he's not even American, that I've seen has been wherever I've traveled on this planet is funny. Wherever I go, I can always walk into a shop and see a Bob Marley shirt.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Always. And everybody can resonate with Bob Marley. Doesn't matter the social economical demographics that you're in. Everybody can resonate with Bob Marley. Everybody sings Bob Marley songs. Imagine that. Happy songs.
Yes, always. And it goes to a depth of love and peace and harmony in the midst of chaos.
Currency.
The only strange thing is when I had my locks, people assumed that I'm going to smoke with them. I'm like, hey, look, hey, I may partake, but I am not communing with you, my brothers and sisters. Like, unfortunately, that is a spiritual thing. Like, we're going to keep it this way. But yeah, again, it's a part of an awakening that we as a human species are going to have to start, again, understanding what we really value. Because we're being influenced by corporations. I said that word specifically.
Yeah,
do your etymology. Do your etymology on what corp means.
Yep.
Okay. And we're allowing them to separate us for their profit. They put you in a niche. They will put you into a hashtag. They will put you into a box because they are collecting your data for free in order to sell you something. But who are you? One of my wonderful, most important influences, Mos Def, said they're selling a persona. So that artist, that individual that you love so much, do the research on them. Take a step back and say, wait. Why am I dressing like this? Why am I talking this way? Because again, they have such a powerful influence that they can formulate an idea into a human, put that on the stage, and get you to worship it.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. I really appreciate that we brought up Bob Marley, but it just went a total turn, if you don't mind me, Dr. Rodney.
Yeah, go ahead.
I also realize why there are certain individual artists they appreciate, because as an American, we are the only ones who profit off our pain. Just want you to know that. Everything. Bob Marley was non-threatening.
Yes, he was.
So tell me why 50 Cent, who is considered to be threatening, is also appreciated. You see, it's odd. For me, it's
NWA.
Odd. It's like you don't even, you don't live this life, son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm looking at these, non-melanated individuals, and like, yeah, find me in the club, and I'm like, okay, brother, yeah, what's up? I get you. I see you holding it down. But I was curious because, again, what I appreciate about the way I see the world is I'm always studying to understand why is it that these people are, why are they accepting this story that they would never live, they would never experience outside of themselves, outside of the daily practices. They don't eat the food we eat. They're not repping their hood with their mom. They're going and they're praying to Allah, but then they will go to the club and they will bounce that on a like. So I'm saying like from a musical standpoint, there is a lot of techno and 1, 2, 3, 4 music, jazz, another thing, gospel. We have created a lot of culture in the States, in this wonderful place, that has influenced others around the world, and it is important to take a step back and start realizing what we find valuable and take control of that so that we don't have to keep asking for money. It will come to you when you create that value.
And as we transition to the commercial, you said some powerful things. There's a book out by John Coleman.
I don't even know where I'm at right now.
Yeah, it's a book by John Coleman. Talks about Tavistock Institution. And if you don't know what Tavistock Institution is, they literally study the trends of the population. So again, and this is the truth. One of the trends that they seen for 2015 and beyond is that young men will wear tight jeans.
Mm.
So this is the trends that they study. This is what corporations buy into as it relates to getting the trends out, so that way we can go to the stores and buy the things that we buy. Matter of fact, there was a trend in there as well too, that young African American men will begin to buy skirts. Okay, so you begin to see these trends. They're studying these trends, and it's a form of social psychology, as
exactly
as they
it's
call
a science.
It's a science. It really is. It's crazy. So I don't want you to think that the world's forever changing. Sometimes they use what we revere as being our leaders, and when we have, I don't want to even use any names, but when we have a basketball player that wears a skirt on the way to the basketball game, then we have basketball players thinking that is okay because that's my favorite player and he's doing it. So I think it's okay for me to do it. So it opens up this caveat of different windows that we find ourselves falling through. Yeah, it's crazy.
The food is better, although I will say, America, we're eating things that are not healthy for us. I just want to say
definitely.
that. I have better food in Europe, but yes.
Definitely. This is Dr. Rodney Duckett. You listen to the Lively Art of Conversation. We'll be right back.
Peace and blessings. You're listening to the Lively Art of Conversation with Dr. Rodney Duckett.
We're back. Lively Art of Conversation. Live, learn, earn. We pass it along, and we are here with the man himself, the Blu Mantic. If you guys are thinking about being on this show, Lively Art of Conversation at gmail.com. Hit me up. My man.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me.
We got an album on the way. I am going to be finally expressing the second inclusion of a trilogy project. The first one was called Sanctuary. You can find that online. If you just Google my name, TheBluMantic, I'm everywhere. The next inclusion will be called Altar. This is something very powerful because I haven't done music all year. I've actually taken a step back fully from being an active force of creation and rather an internal. I've been able to focus on working with my family to utilize my skills, but also more importantly to spend time and get to re-understand, who we are and what value I have for my family as a man. Because, again, I am the eldest of 4 kids, single parent home. So there is a huge, this is personal, but there's a huge responsibility that I've put up on myself to figure out how we can get out of whatever troubles we are facing. And whether that's emotional intelligence, whether that's psychological, whether it's even physical ailments that I got to find a way for my mom not to deal with without relying on pharmaceuticals. I've been able to really enjoy taking the journey into educating myself and learning as much as possible. Does it sound like a lot? Not for me. Trust me. The album is me putting everything on, as I mentioned, an altar and saying, this is the sacrifice that I was willing to take to get to where I got to go. The version of myself that I assumed I needed to be was for my own safety and inclusion where I was. And it wasn't who God had me to be. It was, again, me taking control for survival. But you can't thrive in a state of survival.
No, you can't.
You cannot. So when I got back home, I'm sleeping on my sister's floor. I'm saying these things not to brag, but I've been homeless before, which means I've gotten rid of everything that I've considered to be successful at a level that I've been able to build, let it all fall, and rebuild it stronger every time. This is the 3rd chapter of my life as a young man and an artist, that me putting this album out, I wrote these songs 4 years ago. So I'm telling you as a listener, I was already ahead of my time. I was moving so fast that I was vibrating in the future and losing the present. But it was a sacrifice I was willing to make so that I can come back to the present and be more focused, more aware, more wise for those who actually look up to me or appreciate who I am in their life. Now I can be a father to my son who I had at 18. Was I able to do it at that time? I was not. But the sacrifice I was willing to make was to learn as much as possible, as fast as possible, at 120 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Crashing, burning, and getting out the car and saying, all right, where's the next ride? I'm going to hitchhike. Throw my thumb up. I'm going to write music while I'm traveling. And then the next thing I know, oh my God, I learned how to build my own spaceship. Return and say, this is how you can do it. And this is the blueprint. And this is how you're going to do it better. So this album is like I said, the inclusion is a letter to myself and others to say, hey, we want to get to know this guy as a rapper. I'm not a rapper, but I am an MC, a master of ceremony. I believe this is the first time that I've shared this kind of art as a hip hop form.
Yeah.
So there is a little braggadocious in there, but that's also because I've been through things. There's a true depth of honesty and self-reflection. If you listen to my other projects, it is similar, but this one is me saying, hey, look, here, you can have it all, because I don't even want any of it. I'm doing this for fun. This is my own entertainment. But the truth is, if I'm going to make an exchange as an artist for the world, it's like, hey, use these examples for yourself to find your own value. Let my story be a vehicle for your transformation, my brother and sister. Like, definitely. I will sacrifice my character to learn, to figure out how to get us out of this.
I would like to say this, and I have a very unique and special relationship with you, and I said in the beginning of the show, there is an evolutionary process that has happened with you. I've watched you in the realms of a novice, from a beginner to someone that is in the profession of what you're doing. But I've also, when you came back and we talked to each other, I've noticed something different. And the difference between you're not an expert in your field, you're a practitioner.
Thank you.
So to be a practitioner and to bring out the practicality of what you're doing, to open up spaces where people can come in and learn and develop from, is absolutely amazing. So I commend what you have done for yourself. I commend the work that you have done with different people. But most importantly, the most important thing that I commend about you is you're here and you're back to be a father to the little Blu Mantic that's there, and that means more than anything else in the world, because you have been that God that he's been praying for to be back. And the fact that you are back and he now has that father, that foundation, that means more than anything else in the world, my brother. So. And I got Blu Mantic all choked up. A Capricorn choked up another Capricorn on air.
It's been easy to hide my emotions because I'm powerful at creating that illusion.
Yes, sir.
But since I've been at home, I don't know how to say thank you to my family for always believing in me and being patient with me. My brother, my sister, my mom, my grandmother, the people who have supported me in ways without words or finance. Definitely. Even you, Mr. Rodney. It's just, when I sit back, I have to be very grateful, because I can't be this powerful or even this wonderful if it wasn't for the people who invested in me. I didn't ask for it. I didn't know how to ask for it, but it was given to me. So I feel that there is a duty within me to be hospitable and to be of service to the people that I care for and the world. I am an instrument. I'm very confident because I'm a bad mother.
Watch your mouth.
Man, I put a lot of work to be this cold, man. I put on the ice suit and went to hell and said, give me the keys, man. These mine.
Oh, man. But one thing I will say as we begin to close, I like to give a shout out to your whole family, but specifically your mother.
She's a force, brother.
Man, biggest
She's
fan.
A force.
The biggest fan. And let me tell you what you done for your mother. This is how every mother should be treated. when she came back, because I always go to his mom, get my hair washed, we catch up or whatever the case may be. And she told me when she came back from Poland, and she said, I was going in places and people were rolling out red carpet based off of my son. Like literally, I paid for nothing. I wanted nothing. People were opening up doors. Red carpets was coming out. Food was coming out.
Should be.
People was literally worshiping me like I was Queen Elizabeth walking to the building. And she says, I never had an experience like that before in my life, and that is all due to my son.
Yeah, I didn't know in the beginning of my stage, my journey, that as a young man, it's not love that we require. It's actually respect.
Definitely.
I didn't know that. And when I figured that out, I didn't require or need love anymore. And that's when I understood why people actually have the vibration of hate, because they don't love themselves. And then I realized respect is earned and appreciated, but it ain't asked for.
Yeah, definitely.
You gonna, hey, look, hey, don't play no games over here. And when I started putting that finger down as the mantic, which if you don't know the etymology of that word, mantic means fulfilling a prophetic word. There's prophecies that have been spoken over my life since I was a child. And I'm just finding ways to fulfill them because that is within me. Man, I started putting that finger down. It was like, oh, he is a threat. Let us try to figure out how to get. And then again, the internal power of me beating my own demons, I could see others and find out how to help them beat theirs. Or be like, man, I rebuke you. You better get out of my face. Matter of fact, in the morning, I need to see my check on the table.
Definitely.
All zeros.
Hey, brother, as we begin to close this show out, last 30 seconds, anything you want to pass along to the audience? Anything that's on your heart you want to pass along before we close?
Hey, stop believing all these lies that the government is telling you, man. Stop believing the people you trust so much. Go back to our roots and listen to your grandma, your mama, and them. Start understanding what we need to work on for ourselves, and then take some time for yourself and journal and write to yourself to understand yourself better and heal. Please heal.
You heard it right there. This is Dr. Rodney Doug with the Lively Art of Conversation. Yes, this will be out. You will be able to have a chance to listen to this and watch this again. This is a treat. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on the Lively Art of Conversation, where we live, we learn, we earn, we pass it along. Thank you, brother, for being on the show.
Thank you. I truly appreciate it. It's a blessing.